Thank you for joining us for the Town Hall, January 29th, 2025. We've got some really exciting updates today for you. With me today is...
Hey, everybody. This is Colby Winegar, Storj CEO. Excited to be here.
And John Gleeson, Chief Operating Officer for Storj. Today, we're going to be talking about a range of topics. This quarterly Town Hall is, of course, part of our broader commitment and strategy around transparency. In addition to our quarterly town halls, we also make all of our code open source and available to the community for review. We have our roadmaps made public on GitHub. We have a public forum and blog where we provide regular communications about the company, the business, and where we're going from a product direction. Quarterly token reports provide incredible transparency into how the storage token functions as a store of value in our platform. We also provide live network statistics so that people can see the growth and utilization of our service. We are enabling community reporting, so third parties who are validating how our service is doing and growing and how our network of storage node operators are succeeding. We publish our regular DEI reports, and of course, we publish information on our sustainability initiatives. Before we get really into the most interesting parts of the update, I just want to let you know that this presentation contains forward-looking statements and information relating to Storj's product, network, and business. These statements are based on the information currently available to the company with respect to future events, which are subject to unknown material risks and uncertainties that may cause our actual results or performance to be materially different from those contained in the forward-looking statements. This information should not be relied upon in making purchase decisions or other decisions. The development, release, timing of any feature or functionality described in our products remains at the sole discretion of Storj Labs. So with that out of the way, let me turn it over to Colby to give us an executive update and really get started with what all the exciting things that are going on at Storj.
Thank you, John. I am so excited about this town hall because we've had such a phenomenal year this year. When I look back at where we were a year ago, we had lofty expectations for 2024, but what happened in 2024 heavily exceeded those expectations. It was a year of tremendous revenue growth. That was our top priority in 2024 to prove we have product market fit, that customers want this product and they can use it. And so to have 7x revenue year over year was just phenomenal and much higher than we expected. At the end of the year, we were seeing 20% month over month growth in revenue. So that was outstanding. And then in all of our other metrics that support that are looking fantastic. With our sales pipeline is much larger to help future growth in 2025. We're seeing our channel be productive and so excited about that. And as you all know, we had two acquisitions that we'll talk about a little bit more later, but both of these acquisitions have not only helped with growing revenue, but we see a lot of potential with both of these acquisitions in helping now the company as a platform grow. They've exceeded our expectations on what we've seen so far on revenue growth. They are now exceeding our expectations on what we see as for the potential of both these companies. So super excited about how those have both turned out and the potential that are in both of those. We also had some great developments in our product on the storage side with getting object lock generally available and getting Veeam ready status for mutability. So that will also help since backup is such a large market, one of the largest for the storage industry. Kuno FS is part of that Petagene acquisition, is showing a lot of interest from customers as we prepare to launch that product. So just phenomenal year last year and so excited to get into the details.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that in addition to that growth, like the types of customers that we are now attracting. I mean, I remember, early on, Colby, when we were excited about customers, we're like, they have 100 gigabytes. Yeah. This one's a player. And then it was single terabytes and then double-digit terabytes and three-digit terabytes and then single petabytes, and now seeing the double-digit petabyte customers coming along. And in those large organizations, the fact that we're up against the Amazons, the Seagate Live Clouds of the world, the big billion-dollar companies with decades of a head start over a scrappy little startup, and we're winning those deals. Like, this is extremely rewarding, and it's not just the growth, but like you said, it's that product market fit where we're really seeing market pull right now, and I couldn't be more excited about where we are.
Yeah, it's been really encouraging to see our customers really appreciate. They come in, they try the product out, and they stick around. Basically no one leaves unless they go out of business is the experience we've been having. So that's rare, but it has happened. But yeah, it's been exciting to see the customer satisfaction we see with our product.
Yeah. And frankly, if we go to the next slide, right, nothing backs up the talk like the proof points here.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see both of these charts go up and to the right, every month over month, just growing consistently. Both really strong growth rates on the storage side of almost 12% and the compute side of about 30%. So super strong growth rates. Would love to keep those continuing into the future, and it looks like that will continue. So excited to see the future for both of these, and excited to add another chart here with file access with KunoFS. And so hopefully we have 3 charts that continue to look like this in the future. We haven't shared much in the past on revenue, but it's just been so exciting. It's hard to resist not sharing this. So right, right, what you can see here is quarterly revenue, and wanted to share at least, maybe not the details of what the revenue actually is, but at least the growth quarter over quarter. And so you can see it was still growing nicely in the first 3 quarters, or like a little bit from Q4 2023 into the first year of 2024. But throughout the last half of the year, it's really started to accelerate. We actually prepared for that type of growth at the beginning of the year last year, knowing that we were still building up our sales team and our channel, and we're planning on accelerated growth in the second half of the year. We're pleasantly surprised that also at about the same time, we did have the Valdi acquisition and the Petagene acquisition came in Q4. Both of those have exceeded our expectations, but just I love showing this. It shows just a lot of growth. I mean, 177% growth is quite phenomenal. And that wasn't just all from inorganic acquisitions. The companies that we purchased we've helped them grow. So just really excited to see what this looks like. If you took just our current revenue now, Q1 is going to look very attractive as well. So looking forward to our next town hall.
Yeah. And really the great thing that's fueled a lot of that growth isn't just like you said, Colby, the 1 + 1 + 1 of just buying companies that have revenue, but each company grew based on, sort of the interactions with the other company opportunities, right? So putting Storj plus Valdi together has driven phenomenal growth. Adding KunoFS to Storj has had phenomenal growth, right? And we just expect to see this continue, and this is fantastic.
Yeah, really a lot of synergies across the 3 companies.
And maybe some context for why we're so excited. It's not just that we're seeing this sort of one-off growth. We're seeing repeatable use cases in a gigantic market, right? And so this is one of the biggest and fastest growing markets out there. We are pursuing 2 of the biggest segments in this market, and then we just have the horizontal product that appeals to just a wide range of just general enterprise use cases. And so this is something where the unique solution that we've got, and honestly, when you look at how we're deployed, when you look at the way we built our service, this is really the first net new architecture in cloud services since Amazon launched S3 back in 2008. So this is a highly disruptive, differentiated architecture, and that is why we are winning. And so it gives us the structural advantages over these other cloud providers who are just a me too on racking and stacking servers and hard drives and dropping all the CapEx and hoping for the best. We have massive economies of scale here, right? And so those aren't just revenue growth numbers that are great, but also margins that are good and becoming great. And that network effect, the bigger the network gets, the more performant it becomes. And so these are things that we've sort of been really proud of for years, and now we're seeing customers really take advantage of those as we're finding the best use cases for our service. And of course, that the business, seeing as it scales up that it actually really does work as well as we expected. I mean, that's fantastic. And then, Colby, we can't say enough good things about the team, right? This is just a fantastic team of people with expertise in distributed systems and programming and scaling systems. And this is how we got to this rapid revenue growth. And I'm excited to see where next year goes. Yeah,
I agree. The team is a really solid team that will, I think, isn't just a good entrepreneurial team. It's a strong, solid team that can help the company scale to what we want to achieve.
The more we think about this, right, the growth of data, with 23% year-over-year growth. It's one of those things where, when Colby was saying, customers don't leave unless they go out of business, that is a very true statement. But the other thing is that customers grow. And maybe this explains a little bit of that, but our net expansion, our ability to get into a customer and have that customer grow month over month, year over year, is really driven by the market dynamics, right? Everybody's got a lot of data, but everybody's data keeps growing all the time. And so when you look at sort of the confluence of things out there, data is growing. People are buying a lot of infrastructure to plan for that growth, but at any point in time, most of that infrastructure is underutilized. And so we have this unique ability to bring a disruptive solution that's built on top of all of that underutilized resources. And so now, when you look at our distributed model, right, it makes us faster, it makes us more economical, it makes us better from a sustainability perspective, and it has the benefit also of rapid revenue growth.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about kind of where we are now. Really, we've made a big transition this year, and I can't emphasize that enough. And we've done it in a couple of areas. One is that we've, in the past, focused on revenue, and it was just the top thing that we would always talk about. And part of that is the concept of the crossing the chasm, of proving that there is a market out there, and we're going to start to move up the S curve. And so we're transitioning that phase of the company's growth now, where we're moving from, hey, great, we can get revenue, to let's now scale that revenue. And at the same time we scale, make sure we have attractive financials, because now it means a lot more as you get much larger revenue. So we'll talk a lot about that in our future conversations. We've also made a big transition from just a storage company to a distributed cloud services platform company. We think there are going to be a lot of synergies as we come to customers with not just one offering, but more of a solution that includes multiple products. We've been really encouraged with what we've seen so far across our GPU business, our storage business, and our file mount business. Like, all of them have been really attractive. We've seen a lot of momentum, as you can see in our revenue growth. We have a lot in our pipeline. We see a good cross-contamination or fertilization. I don't know what the right word is for it, but you just see a lot of opportunities we're pursuing, where there's a storage opportunity and there's a GPU opportunity, or just like two of our products and sometimes three. So excited to see how that differentiates us into the future, and helps our customers grow.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see that the combination of the services, being appealing to customers, but also the fact that, these are our second and third acquisitions. And overall, as a company, we are extremely fortunate to have been 3 for 3 in terms of like getting value, driving success, and having the acquisitions have the impact on the business that we want them to. Most acquisitions don't go that well. And some of them, I would probably guess that even the majority of them, don't deliver the value expected over time, and maybe even, really underwhelm. But in this case, we're 3 for 3 at absolutely stellar impact, and in terms of like business integration, customer integration across the board. This is something where I'll give you props for this one, Colby. I mean, this has turned out phenomenally well.
Yeah, so we thank you. We've seen that we're focusing more on our go-to-market effort as well. We deliberately in the past kind of took a shotgun approach and tried to see what would stick. And so now we're narrowing down to certain verticals like media and entertainment, or to enterprise IT and AI, 3 major verticals that have been attractive for us. And so we will continue to get specific, so we find repeatable use cases that help us grow. Yet, as we do all these things, we still have challenges ahead of us. We're facing new challenges, which we've always dreamed of facing, which are like scaling challenges. And so as we've had to deal with some scaling pains this year, and I think that the team, especially the engineering team, matched what we were asking of them in spades. So excited to see how we've done that so far. Now we need to be more sensitive to our costs, because the bigger you get, the more sensitive you are to margins and fixed costs and things like that. And we think we have a great product. We feel like we're getting better at communicating to that with our new marketing team. But we consistently hear people say, wow, you're actually a lot better than what you say you are. So we're trying to get better at getting the word out there and helping people get familiar with our offering.
I think that maybe just a little double click on some of the key things that are also contributing to that growth from a platform and technology perspective. A big thing for us this year was getting Object Lock launched. So Object Lock is a collection of features that are really geared towards helping companies achieve compliance requirements around things like ransomware resistance and ensuring the confidentiality, availability, and durability, retrievability of their data. And so there is a huge segment of the market in terms of backups and disaster recovery, where if you don't have Object Lock, you are just simply not in that category of customer or of service that can be bought. But with the launch of Object Lock, what we've seen is an immediate uptick where we were getting a lot of just system backups and things like that, just the general enterprise use cases. And all of a sudden we started seeing an influx of all of these applications that are really built around these types of compliance workflows. So Veeam and Rubrik and Commvault, all of the large sort of enterprise backup solutions where traditionally those things are paired with something like, Amazon's S3 offering. And because we can offer better performance for those backups, which means better metrics around recovery point objective, which is, how recent in time can you bring your business back if you have a failure event, and recovery time objective. How long does it take you to get back up and running after you have an event like that? Those key metrics are uniquely advantageous for Storj because our throughput is so high, our system is so fast, and now that we are feature complete for those use cases, we're seeing a bunch of people looking to capture that value of an 80% lower cost compared to those Amazon storage bills. So this has been phenomenal, right? And so our customers can simply activate this through our platform now. So when you create a bucket, you can turn on Object Lock, you can turn on versioning, you can activate legal hold and compliance mode and all of those features, right? It's a very rich set of capabilities that support our customers. And frankly, this is, why customers care is if they have cyber security insurance, this is a huge factor in helping keep the risk low and the insurance premium low. And ultimately, these are features that are included in the Storj service, which is a fantastic value for our customers.
Yeah, we think this will make a dramatic impact on the amount of data we store, not only making it more attractive to customers, it'll also make it more attractive to technical alliance partners that we've been courting in the past. And customers may also store more data for a given use case because of the versions that they store.
So QNOFS has been a great one, right? So the Pedagene acquisition was largely driven by our experience with the QNOFS product and their team. And in addition to having the leading product in the market for genomics data compression, QNOFS was something that came out of the product learnings and technical expertise of the team in the genomics solution development. And now they have this horizontal product that basically is a local file mount client for object storage. So you can just open up a drive on your computer that maps to object storage on the back end. And we have found that this particular product is exactly the thing that we were missing in a number of media and entertainment use cases, where a market where we were already seeing success. This is just pouring gasoline on our fire. And so this is a phenomenal product, both for things like server to server ingest and conform use cases in large production workflows, media editing flows on individual machines, or a wide range of things in between. We see it being used in financial services for just the sort of the data analysis piece of it. We see it used in industrial engineering companies moving LiDAR data around and use cases like that. And so this is an incredible product, and it's also an incredible team. And right now, if people want to get their hands on it, all they have to do is go to qno.io, and they can get the software and start giving it a try. But it is excellent software, and really that has been just as it was with the Valdi team, a delightful process of integrating some really awesome people and some fantastic technology.
Yeah, this one feels like there's a strong unmet need out there and this is meeting the pain point that people have, and we're seeing that with kind of responses we're getting with customers when we present it to them.
And then of course, Valdi, the GPU market out there, the AI market, that was something that, we were, as a storage only company, only capturing a small percentage of that market. And really this has been a leap forward in diving in and providing value and capturing a chunk of the AI market. And the types of things that we're seeing this service for, right? It's just people wanting access to chips on a much more flexible basis, or wanting to sort of capture that shift of the market where, initially it was all about generating a model and, creating a unique model for yourself. And then a wave of open source models came in. And what we saw following that open source model was a lot of companies not building their own models. Benchmarking existing open source models became really the key thing. And not just benchmarking those models on one chip, but on a variety of different chips to find out where's the sweet spot on that performance and value. Because a lot of AI startups spend an enormous amount of money getting to the point where they have a model that works for their use case. And now as they shift to monetization, they're incredibly focused on that value curve for generating revenue, keeping costs low, and really converting from a AI startup in discovery mode to monetizing the intellectual property that they've got. And Valdi provides a phenomenal platform to do that. We have multiple customers who are benchmarking their models consistently or shifting and adapting as new chips come out. Going from 3040s to 4090s, or 3090s to 4090s, to L40S, then to 5090s, right? And just being able to very adeptly make changes and be proactive because we have that capacity, we have it at a very flexible model, and it helps them innovate and drive costs down as they're growing their businesses. Colby, I know that's been one that's been impactful for you, particularly.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal to see the growth in that business. It's been again one of those examples where it's much higher than expected, and excited to see where that takes us. I feel like we're still barely penetrating that market with what we could do, and so we're seeing really large opportunities in the pipeline, and should be a very exciting year for the GPU business. All right, so I want to talk about the Vivant example that we had closed earlier this year. So Vivant is the second largest smart home company in the U.S. Behind ADT. They started as a security company and then moved into a smart home company, and so it's actually where I used to work before coming to the distributed storage industry. Vivant came to us with a challenge of doing the video storage for about 1.5 million to 2 million customers. So lots of customers out there with a lot of data. And the challenge is that the data is stored and then it's deleted on a regular basis because you don't keep the customer's data stored for a long time. It's just the video recordings that they promote to store for customers that might sit around for 30 to 45 days. And so that's a lot of uploads for the customers or for the supplier to handle that gets deleted on a regular basis. So a very different experience compared to doing a backup use case where you may store it for a longer period of time. They looked at our offering, and given our experience and focus on storing videos, were really willing to take to work with us on that. And so we were really excited to close that business in August, and it's been a great experience so far. They've been super pleased with the experience they've had with us. And I think it's a great demonstration for us that we can get very large customers and support their data and have the performance that they need and exceed their expectations and be a trusted partner for them for this type of a use case.
Yeah, I think it's worth also just sort of thinking about the shape of their use case, right? Just uploading tens of petabytes of data every month that lives for approximately 2 weeks and then is deleted, right? Over and over and over again on an ongoing basis. And we're just uniquely positioned as a technology to scale for high volume uploads like that, right? We are super optimized for fast writes in that use case, but it's not just the technology that can handle that level of load and then also adapt to sudden spikes up or down, as events trigger, higher utilization, changes in daylight duration or summer months, right? Increasing the amount of data that gets stored. And so it's the technology, but also it's the business model where how we're priced and how we go to market and how we choose to support our customers. We're really a unique solution in being a perfect fit, both from a business perspective and from a technology perspective for that kind of high scale use case. And it's really just another large scale enterprise, high volume use case that really puts us on the map in terms of being a serious player in the cloud storage space and now more broadly the platform space.
Yeah, well said. So looking to our future, in 2025, we're focusing on three major areas. One is to identify and establish repeatable, scalable revenue. We've proven that we can find opportunities and close deals and capture the revenue, but as we scale, we need to make those activities more repeatable and scalable. So we can point our sales and marketing teams to those specific use cases that will be efficient in our use of capital and drive tremendous growth. The second one is to position go-to-market strategy as a distributed cloud platform. Clearly, with the 2 acquisitions we had last year, we're now a platform company, and we need to represent that so that we act as one company, present ourselves to customers as one company, and leverage the benefits we have across the 3 products that we have now. And then third one is to capture attractive gross margins with minimal increase in fixed expenses. So with this growth in revenue, we become more sensitive to what our margins are, and we want to do all that while keeping basically our G&A and infrastructure pretty similar to what it is now, so that we can continue to grow the top line, grow our gross margins, and while still keeping our fixed expenses in check. So those are the 3 things we're going to focus on in 2025. We feel we have the momentum and the track record to make it a very successful year. We're as excited as we sound on this call. We're just as excited about next year. I hope it doesn't come across as too much cheerleading and excitement, but we really are trying to communicate how excited and pleased we are with what's happened in 2024, with how excited we are about what we are seeing with our conversations with customers and what's in the pipeline. And really, I am excited every quarter to report on how things are going.
Yeah, I totally echo that. That infrastructure companies in general are slow to get going, but once they get momentum, they tend to be very sticky. But when you combine that sort of momentum, stickiness with the hockey stick growth we're seeing right now, very, very few companies in the world get the privilege of being where we are right now, and it is really an exciting place to be here right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I guess speaking of being here is one thing, but speaking of not being here is another. So here's where the Storj team is going to be in the next quarter or so. So we've got obviously a very active event schedule in any business, right? The customers don't all come to you. Sometimes you have to go find some of them, and we find that events are a great place for us to go do that. So we will have a presence at Satoshi Roundtable, which is one of the largest thought leadership events in technology and Web3. We have the HPA Tech Retreat coming up. That's a fantastic opportunity for us to work with our tech partners. ETH Denver, of course, kicking off the distributed and decentralized tech season there. So we will be there with all of our partners in the Web3 space. And of course, NVIDIA GTC, the epicenter of AI kickoff events for the year. That's definitely one we can't miss with the Baldy team. And then Channel Partners and Leadership Expo, right? As we continue to make progress and get traction with a channel go-to-market, that is a huge focus for us, and that's where we'll be. So if you are in any of these cities, if you are at any of these events and you want to meet up with the Storj team, come find us.
Yeah, I love being at events and having someone come up and say, hey, I'm a node operator. And that person can vary from an individual developer that did it as a personal thing on the side to I've had CTOs of companies come up and say they're actually a node operator. So yes, please come and meet us. It's always fun to see you at events. So that wraps up our presentation for today. Again, want to emphasize that we are so excited about where we are today and what we've accomplished last year, and just as excited about what the future holds. Please reach out with any questions, and we're super excited to continue to provide these updates.
Yep. Thank you very much.
See you, everybody.